Hi guys, let's talk about Prince Harry. And the reason I'm talking about him is he's been giving interviews. This latest one was with a place called Fast Company. Now, Harry has a lot to say what happened about the siege on the Capitol in January 6th. This is a guy who's lived here for 9 months on some kind of visa and expedited green card because he is Prince Harry. So this is what he had to say because, we're all dying to know what he has to say. He says, we are losing loved ones to conspiracy theories. Yeah, that's right. Your conspiracy theories. Losing a sense of self because of the barrage of mistruths. Does he know what the word barrage means? He did not write this. Losing our democracies. Well, guess what, Harry? You've only lived here for 9 months. It's like me marrying you, going to the UK, and saying, Harry, there's a problem with Parliament. I don't like Boris Johnson, and this whole Brexit thing is kind of weird. So we need to go change it. We need to remodel, reframe, reorganize, because we're now interior decorators, okay? So he then has a whole thing more to say. We have seen time and time again what happens when the real cost of misinformation is disregarded. Yes, your misinformation. There is no way to downplay this. There was a literal attack on democracy in the United States, organized on social media, which is an issue of violent extremism. That's right. We've had violent extremism for like the last 6 months. You didn't talk about that, did you? Then he compares us to like the genocide in Myanmar, which has nothing to do with this, by the way. Then he brings up Brazil. Then he says we should avoid buying into the idea that social media is the ultimate modern day public square and that any attempt to ask platforms to be accountable to the landscape we've created is an attack of restriction of speech. Harry, we are being monitored left and right. We are not allowed to make comments anymore, okay? Our speech has been restricted, not you as an aristocrat living here in this country. You have no right. You need to just zip it because we're sick of hearing about you. Go back to the UK and make a bunch of comments about them, okay? He and Meghan have apparently spent much of the last year consulting the experts. Who is that? Oprah? Who? The Obamas? I don't know. And learning directly from academics, advocates, and policymakers. Who are you? You have no right to even be here, okay? And by the way, your wife didn't live in this country for 10 years. She was in Toronto for 7 and the UK with you, okay? So you've lived here 9 months. She finally came back after 10 years, okay? That's what I have to say about you and what you have to say. All these experts and policymakers, who? Everybody on the left? You don't ever care what everybody thinks. And by the way, another thing about you, you joined the military at age 21, 2005. You were there till 2015 when you were 31. During that time, did you forget your 2012 escapade in Vegas where you were naked, covering up your private parts, partying, hanging out with women? You forget that. You were part of the military. You left at 31 and all of a sudden got some badge of lieutenant, colonel, something like that. And guess what? 1 year later, you meet a woman called Meghan Markle, and she actually said to you, oh my God, I had no idea who you were. And you believed her. You actually believed her. Like she said, oh, what's your name, Harry? Oh, you're a prince? Gosh, I didn't know that. What was your mom like? What's her name? Princess Diana? That's such a nice name. Really? You live in a castle? Oh my gosh, I went to a castle once. It's in Hollywood. It's called the Magic Castle. You can eat dinner there and they do magic tricks. I think you and I should live in a castle because I got a lot of magic tricks. That's what you did. That's what you chose. And at 32 years old, if you believed a woman that said she didn't know who you were, that makes you look not very smart. So if you agree with me, please let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel and we can reveal more and more about the hypocrisy and aristocracy of Prince Harry, who has lived his whole life being called Prince Harry. Stay out of our politics, okay? Zip it. We don't want to care. We don't care what you think at all. And you should really learn to just be a nice resident here, appreciate our palm trees, and just live your life in your $15 million mansion with 16 bathrooms, a massive pool, and God knows how many sprinklers to water your 6 acres. Harry, stay out of it. Okay? Stay out of our country.